Our next presenter, Sophia Curto, is a member of the DECA and Key Club and is captain of our girls tennis team. Sophia was recognized as one of our MHS Grossman Leadership Award winners, a perpetual award given for outstanding service and leadership at Marshfield High School for 52 consecutive years. She'll be attending Drexel University in the fall, majoring in marketing. She'll be recognizing Mr. Kopp, Mr. Raymond, and Mr. Weisgerber, our yearbook dedicatees. Ladies and gentlemen, Sophia Curto.
Thank you, family and friends, for being here today. It is an honor to be standing before you on such a memorable occasion to recognize our class's yearbook dedicatees. In fashion with the class of 2019 always going above and beyond, we couldn't just settle for 2 teachers to recognize for the yearbook dedication like in previous years. We chose 3. 3 teachers, mentors, and friends who have had an impact on each one of us in one way or another, and who we have had the pleasure of getting to know as outstanding members of the Marshfield High School community. The first teacher I'd like to recognize is Mr. Raymond. Mr. Raymond's personality and style are often laid back and humorous, and because of this, he soon became a friend to the students in his English classes. Although he hasn't been at Marshfield long, he made an immediate impression upon his arrival, never seeming like a stranger to any student. The positive energy that Mr. Raymond generates creates an enlightening classroom environment and always succeeds in putting a smile on students' faces, even when they have to read their own original poetry to the class. His encouragement not only supports different students' perspectives, but challenges them to consider new ones. His class is more than just about content, though. It's about pushing students out of their comfort zones and them trusting him in return for personal and academic growth. Mr. Raymond's positive influence prompts so much personal insight alongside classroom knowledge, something we aspire to find in our new endeavors. He has sparked an eternal love for learning in so many students, perhaps without him even knowing it. Our next yearbook dedicatee is widely known as the long-lost triplet of the Property Brothers. Mr. Kopp is the Renaissance man at Marshfield High School. Although we know him as an integral part of the history department, teaching both street law and U.S. history, he is so much more than an ordinary classroom teacher. He is a musician, a knockout champion, and overall one of the most authentic people in our school community. Mr. Kopp is a visible presence in the halls, interacting with the entire student body and staff, making everyone feel important and worthwhile. We are so fortunate to have a teacher as dedicated as Mr. Kopp, working tirelessly for the benefit of all students and staff, so that everywhere he goes feels like a home away from home. His support, although simple, has allowed each one of us to grow into the young adults we are today. We have learned to show the very best aspects of ourselves, both inside and outside of the classroom, and Mr. Kopp contributes immensely to the supportive environment that allows us to move on with confidence, as he has shown us how to do. And last, but certainly not least, we recognize one teacher who has made an impact on the class of 2019 beyond compare. In his 8th year teaching at Marshfield High School and 3rd year mark as history department head, Mr. Weisgerber is one of the most respected and valued adults in the high school. Not only does Mr. Weisgerber transform how history is taught, he transforms how his students engage in classroom conversations about both history and life. Instilling this confidence in a student's knowledge is no easy task, and getting to know each student as more than just a name contributes greatly to his or her success. But outside of typical teacher duties, whether as the voice of hope giving wise words of encouragement as a coach, or the father figure on the history trips that steps in for students whenever they need to talk, Mr. Weisgerber knows what shoes to fill. With his vastly impressive sock collection that he wears inside those shoes, his quick wit and his good sense of humor, YZG will always have a special place in our hearts here at Marshfield High School. When we walked in here as naive freshmen, we searched for ways to make our marks in high school. We walked the halls and climbed the stairs, learned countless lessons along the way, both in life and from the books, searching for the purpose we wanted to pursue at the end of it all. That time has now come. Today, we turn back momentarily to reflect on the young freshmen we once were and to celebrate the young adults we have become. This could not have been done without the guidance of these three extraordinary people, Mr. Raymond, Mr. Kopp, and Mr. Weisgerber, who we honor today. Never did we expect that as we were growing and changing, these people were sharing their insights with us, giving us the tools we needed to make our own decisions for our futures that will serve as the starting points for our own remarkable achievements. As we look back on those people who have helped shape us into who we are today, we also look forward to new opportunities for knowledge, inspiration, and insight, which would have never been possible without the wisdom and guidance of these three deserving educators. Thank you.